Success on any battlefield requires effective strategic planning, leadership, execution, and debriefing. In the Navy SEAL teams, our planning and debriefing, or after-action review procedures, are paramount to defeating the enemy and supporting our learning culture. Constant feedback loops are a strategic imperative for applying lessons learned for continual improvement and adaptation. The planning and debriefing models outlined in this video can be used for both long-term and short-term execution. In a similar fashion to literal battlefields, the modern battlefield of business requires both. From my experience as a business leader building high-growth companies and in working with organizations across the globe, even the most well-intentioned leaders often skip a few critical steps when it comes to strategic planning, debriefing, and the application of insights learned. The most elite special operations teams and high-performance business organizations use the following steps for planning their missions. Step 1. Identify the specific objective. Whether the goal is capturing a high-value target in Syria or landing your ideal new client, the objective must be concise, quantifiable, time-bound, and support the strategic initiative, the organization's overall mission. Step 2. Understand blockages. Collaborate with the team on the elements that are under your control and the ones that aren't. First, focus on constraints you have control over and mitigate those risks as much as possible. Then, list the aspects of the mission plan that are outside the team's immediate control, unknowns, etc. You'll address these again when you're planning for contingencies. Step 3. List resources. What resources do we have to execute this plan? Who has access to them? Identify people on the team or outside the team that can gather the resources necessary for mission success. Step 4. Apply lessons learned. Assuming you've documented key lessons learned from similar missions or projects, discuss how those lessons apply to the current plan. What have we learned in the past? How will we avoid those similar mistakes? What worked well, we can apply to this strategy. Step 5. Actions. What, when, who. Make a list of all the actions that must be executed leading up to and during the mission. Be specific about what they are and make them time-bound. Assign a delivery date and the persons that need to be responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. Step 6. Red teaming. High-performance teams ask the questions, what won't work with this plan? Where are the gaps? What haven't we thought of? For larger strategic plans, we often recommend that the team developing the plans assign a small committee outside of their group to poke holes in their plan, then apply feedback and insights to make the adjustments necessary. Step 7. Develop contingencies, key indicators, associated actions. Now this is where the what-ifs come into play. When identifying the elements out of your control and discussing the unknowns, make appropriate contingency plans. If this happens, then what do you do? If this happens, then you do the following. List key indicators for when the time comes to course correct to a contingency and the actions associated with that plan. In effective meetings, where people come well prepared, teams can learn to use this model to develop a solid plan in 15 minutes, as opposed to days or weeks. Once the plan is finalized, it's time for everyone to execute. You can build a simple one-page template for this process, or contact us today for a free consultation and access to the template we use for our own Taking Point team. Execute properly and keep taking point.